Commence primary ignition.
Hi everyone, I'm Mark Vonnell and the host of Star Wars Rebels Revisited. Join me and my co-host Ashley Brienzo as we do episode watch-alongs, long-form discussions, celebrity interviews, and so much more. Join us every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, only on the Virtual Cantina Network.
Sorry, Mark. I had to do that. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's a throwback. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen that in so long. That's from last summer when we were doing Summer of Snips.
Yes.
That's so long ago. Oh man, my arms were so small. Thank you everyone for joining. This is actually one of the few Mondays there is not a Rebels Revisited because it is celebrating autographs again. Welcome, Dave.
Woo.
How are you?
Hey, I am doing well. It's been a long weekend of over vacationing, but I think that's the way that works.
Well, it was Father's Day, so hopefully
That's
you got
right.
to do some fun stuff yesterday.
Yes, we were at Disney World yesterday morning.
Nice.
That's just that quick. So we had breakfast, Father's Day breakfast with Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, that's awesome. Stitch is where it's at, let me tell you. He is possibly the most popular character in all of Disney at the moment, and with the live action movie coming next year, like he's really on an upswing.
And the merch is everywhere.
Well, NECA makes a lot of it, so it's one of their biggest characters. Because I remember, because we don't have the costume rights for Stitch over at Ruby's, but NECA has a lot of Stitch product, and I was like, I want to make a costume. We have pet costumes though, so if you need a pet costume for Stitch, we got you covered.
Well, I had to do this a couple of years ago for my children. This is what we do. This is why I get the Father's Day presents. Is she wanted to be Stitch, so guess who I had to be?
Lilo. Yeah.
So
I have like a good Hawaiian muumuu.
I have the giant foam head and the whole deal, man.
Oh, you have like the mascot kind of mask. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I need to see photos of that, especially because you're like 7 feet tall. So
and with the thing on, yes, it's crazy. It's giant Lilo that will eat your children. But hi, welcome to Celebrating Autographs.
So aside from Father's Day and Stitch, we will be talking about autographs today, Star Wars related autographs on tonight's show. Frank is once again not feeling great, so Dave and I are subbing in to take you through everything. Luckily, we're not gonna get too deep into if you guys have watched the old Celebrating Autographs episodes, Frank has a lot of I'll say institutional knowledge about all things autographing, all things Star Wars. We're not really doing a lot of that on this show. We're really talking about the event that's coming up, which the event is the event. It is the family vacation, which I mean, we could just run shows every day all about that because it's so soon. We are 5 weeks out.
That is just crazy. I am so not ready.
I don't know. Well, I'm so short on sleeveless shirts for everyone in the chat. This is not a sleeveless from our T Public store. I cut the sleeves off based on what you said last week when I was like, well, I was promised a sleeveless shirt for we do have a custom shirt for the trip, and you said you were going to rip them off, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that to some of my shirts because I have
talking about that in another one of the chats, the vacation chat today, is people are requesting because it's hot and there's cons going on. Con coming up this weekend in San Antonio, Texas, and it's going to be hot.
Yeah. We're in the middle of a heat wave here in New York, and it has nothing to do with climate change. Climate change isn't real. Don't believe it. That's going to be the pull quote for the episode. They're going to put that little vertical video up on stories, and it's going to be
change and Skeleton Crew. Yeah. Are they real?
Which one will happen first? Will we make it to Skeleton Crew, or will climate change kill us all? That will be the question to pose in the chat. Apparently both are very real, and it's going to be 100 degrees in New York later this week.
Wow.
It's June, so I don't know what August is going to be like, but pray for us over here.
Yes. Watch out for the brownouts.
Yeah. We had a power outage at work last week, and it wasn't my building. I was like, oh man, did we not pay a bill? I'm very embarrassed. Especially because it was like week 2 of the interns being there. Our whole block went out and the surrounding area. So the best part is I'm in like a corporate park kind of area, and so the BMW dealership also lost power. So as we're all milling about in the parking lot, we can see at the BMW lot all of these like wealthy people buying BMWs, very annoyed, and then all the people trying to sell BMWs even more annoyed, right? Because like it's all out of their control. Like, you need power. Now, granted, you can still go drive the cars if you want, still do your test drives, but it was a whole thing. So we were all out the door at like 4 o'clock because our power wasn't coming back until later that evening. But it was I think the first of many for the summer, unfortunately.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes, Jerry. Sorry. The vacation is going to be in Southern California, which is 70s most of the time. And there's the other trip shirt. There's the event shirt. These are the trip shirts. They're black to remember what where you've been. The racer, not black, very festively colored. Those have come in today. If you've been looking at some of the chats. And our event shirt that we'll get to later on in the slide deck, we'll talk about not black. So, we can do both. There's a mix.
And you can always slice the sleeves off, most importantly.
Well, you
Or
can slice
visit.
the sleeves and do the little things and the little cuts like that. Let's make it heavy metal t-shirts. Let's make
Oh,
the little,
yeah. Slice down the middle.
Yeah.
The nice thing is too, our T Public store has every cut and color imaginable of most of our designs. I was seeing something and I was like, oh wow, you can get a long sleeve, you can get plus size, like you can do all these different colors. Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Public is I want the Baru Crew hat.
Yeah,
that logo on a trucker cap is wow. Yes, Sherry, exactly. Fringe the bottom with pony beads. We are there for yes.
Sherry, if I don't see that on your shirt, I'm going to be very upset when we get to California. Which again, we have 6 weeks to make this happen. I want people to get their like bedazzler guns and do all that kind of stuff. I want to see ridiculously customized shirts. Staff shirts. Okay, I have a great staff shirt that I saw on Google and I couldn't believe it was real. It was a white polo with the 9 Inch Nails logo. So if you were part of the tour or whatever it was, that was your corporate shirt. Just imagine a white polo with the logo for 9 Inch Nails.
But they do that for everything. It's serious. Like one time I had to buy it. I was at Goodwill and they had a Barbara Mandrell polo for like the staff. Yes, I found that at Goodwill. I own that now.
That's amazing. The Mandrell sisters are legendary, but that's specific. Barbara, because she's not the lead. She's in the number 2 spot. She's not Brittany the Chipmunks. She's Eleanor.
Something I don't know.
That's amazing.
But
all right, we should get into the Star Wars characters in our lineup now that we have a pretty healthy chat and a good number of people watching.
Yeah, everybody's
I hope that everyone saw last week's episode. If you hadn't, this week's episode will be shorter and we will get you out on time because we don't have nearly as many people to talk about at this go round. The first event that's happening during the family vacation, which is on Monday, the 29th, the one that's happening, the Filoniverse, the Heroes of the Filoniverse event.
That's at Scum Villainy Cantina. Hollywood.
That one has a lot more people than night number 2, which is in Hollywood at Biggs. So we can talk a little bit more about each person. And we have a couple of reveals. And as Dave said, some other housekeeping items and some cool stuff to show you.
All right. So let's switch over so you can see the slide deck really big. So you hold on.
This is how we spent our weekend, was filling out PowerPoint slides, for you guys, like it's homework.
Boom. Right there.
There it is. Us making PowerPoints on a weekend. Aren't we cool? Oh, yeah, it's in Fullerton. I keep saying Hollywood.
The first one is in Hollywood. This is Boonta Eve Special Edition Anaheim. Mm-hmm. But Fullerton is just like a hop, skip, and a jump from Disneyland, from Anaheim. Mm-hmm. So this is Boonta Eve Anaheim.
And I got to tell you, as a New Yorker, all of this to me is California.
Yes.
I had to book my flights because I think I've mentioned this a few times already, that I'm doing like a truncated kind of trip. I'm doing San Diego Comic-Con Saturday, Sunday. Mike is very graciously hosting me at his place. So I'm going up to Los Angeles Sunday evening. Where I'm going to go to the Deadpool Wolverine screening at the Chinese, which I'm very excited about. And then I'll be there. So all I know is that I fly into San Diego and I fly out of LAX on Wednesday, red eye into Thursday. I have no idea what addresses I'm going to. Like, it's surprising to me every time I see the screen. Someone was like, "Oh, when are you going to California?" I'm like, "Oh, July." Like, it's that. So
Well,
I'm, yeah.
This is our event again. This is at Big's Bar and Grill in Fullerton, California. It's at 323 North State College Boulevard, Fullerton, California. I think it's like 15, 20-ish minute drive from Disneyland itself, from the official hotel where the family vacation is staying at Disneyland. But it's a really nice ride. It's a really easy ride. Is we did it during Celebration Anaheim. We did it back in location. This is the same location that we did Boonta Eve there.
And that was a great location.
And again, Boonta is sponsored. Our title sponsor is Hyperspace Props and Experience Level Entertainment. Thank you.
Thank you guys for helping us make this event happen. And as you'll see from the prices as we get to our autograph signers, are helping us keep our costs down and allow us to get you the best prices so you can meet as many people as possible. Last week, we showed you over a dozen people that you need to save your cash for. And we're going to add to the stack a lot of first timers again. So it's going to be really exciting for anyone who is working on cast pieces, especially from the Filoniverse, and then people who just don't do a lot of conventions.
Oh yeah, well, and some of the announcements, people that have never done conventions.
Exactly, it's very cool.
Yeah, Jeff really actually knows better than I. Is 10 or 15 minutes from to Fullerton there. Choice.
From the last bus stop.
Troy had some issues getting there last time.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Troy, for sticking it out and being willing to do it again.
I remember Ubering from Celebration because I came like straight after the convention closed or whatever, and it wasn't far, it wasn't long. It's totally doable, and there'll be a lot of us, so we'll find our way. And when we get our group together, we'll all get a buddy and we'll all take care of each other. I think that's it. The buddy system is where it's at. You know, Dave, you have little kids that you have to wrangle. I'm going to be one of those useless ones where I'm like, where do I need to be? Where do I need to go? I'm just going to tag. I'm just Mike's +1.
No, we'll just put you in the trunk and move.
I've already been assigned a bunch of work, so I know that someone will have to get me somewhere for me to do the thing I need to do when I get there. So
that's important.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Right there is meet and greets for this one. Start at 4 p.m. Okay. There's no early entry for people on the trip on this one. So it's a good long autograph signing. You're going to have tons of time with these people. You're going to want the time with these people. These are great signers. I've met a lot of them. And then karaoke again from 8 to midnight. So here we go. Boom. First one.
First time signer.
You asked for Mark Hamill, but we got you Luke Skywalker.
We did get Luke Skywalker and Leia. That's the best part. It's a 2-for-1 over here. So Aidan Barton played the baby in Revenge of the Sith, and they do use the same baby for Luke and for Leia, which that's just really cool, right? Like, imagine being that kid. I know he's a working actor. Like, to be in Star Wars and to be playing two of the most recognizable names in all of Star Wars, Luke and Leia, which is very cool. So I didn't realize this was his first ever public signing until we were talking about this behind the scenes. I knew it was the first time he was doing something with us, but you won't find his autographs anywhere really because of that. That's truly amazing.
Like you said, he might have done some through the mail stuff. He might have had some kind of signing deal or done it. I think it maybe at one point he had a website, or maybe he still does that he does this. But like showing up at a con, at an event, and doing a public signing, this is it with us first time.
There was that other guy who played the youngling who is at the front of the shot where Anakin ignites the blade. I always blank on his name. He's like a fully grown adult now too. And it's like an MMA fighter and stuff. And so I was like, I feel like he could take Hayden in a fight now. So I want to see that. But it's the kind of thing where it's like these little kids are like grown up. It's weird. I don't like
going at it. That
Yeah.
would be hilarious. And he does, by the way, I think he has a website where Ross
Ross
Speedman
Speedman.
is
See,
he
I'm terrible
does
with
have
names.
a website, I believe, that you can get his autograph. And
He was doing a fight for charity too, which was the MMA thing that came in. I think he's like largely on the circuit though. But yeah,
cool.
Aiden is not out there
Mhm.
anywhere. So definitely, this is a great first. Bring your Revenge of the Sith poster. Which at this point, if you've been collecting for a
Oh
while,
yeah.
you probably there aren't a lot of people from Revenge of the Sith that aren't out there super
Mhm.
frequently. So this would be a great addition.
That would be. Yeah, we got to talk about, and we'll talk about next time, stuff that you should bring. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? We'll talk about like, posters you can
Pens.
get and how many signatures you can do, cast pieces, that side. We'll really get into that.
Yeah, we're working on a slide that'll have like, here's everyone from Ahsoka that's going to be there. So you can
Mhm.
plan then, and then we can do a total dollar rack up for you as well, like based on the prices to get all of them to sign it. That way you can budget for if you were working on an Ahsoka piece, it's going to run you, if you got everyone from the event, $200.
So
Like,
it's super easy, by the way, to create that in a Google Sheet. I might have
mhm,
already done it for myself to where I can
yeah,
just go checkbox, checkbox, checkbox. Oh, total.
perfect. We're going to be setting all this up in the background, and I'll have it for next week's show because next week only has a handful of people.
It does.
Um, yeah, because it's the Northern California piece. All right, so
Cool.
let's
So this
continue
one,
with our Bigs event. So Aiden Barton is our first signer. Next up is Billy Bryan,
I am
and
super excited.
he's probably better known as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, but he is a puppeteer and a fabricator. He worked on the Sarlacc pit. I know I love Ghostbusters and I love Stay Puft, so
I want him signed right there. He's going to sit
perfect.
right across the midsection of my Playmobil Marshmallow Man.
That's awesome. Is that an original?
This is an original Playmobil Marshmallow Man. Yes, it goes with like these little characters.
Oh, very cute. I'm sure I had those from when I was a kid because I was obsessed with Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters, which was the cartoon
Yes,
that
the show.
followed. Yeah. Oh man, I was a Slimer fanatic. And by the way, we do have that license at Ruby. So starting in 2025, there will be Ghostbusters costumes, which is very cool. I want to
Ooh.
do the red suit. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're doing all the classic
Yeah,
stuff.
is the jacket the parka?
Yeah, I want that red jacket. So we haven't started yet. We're working on all the classic stuff first, but I have the references and the color Pantone and all that stuff you
You guys
need
gonna
to
do
be able to make
your
something.
own proton pack?
We're not doing proton packs because Hasbro is in that space.
Okay, because yeah, well, I didn't know if you were gonna do some more because there was a very limited run of the full size packs or
Mhm.
the whatever.
I think those are available as toys pretty much everywhere. So we're sticking with
Yeah,
costume.
is
Yeah.
I did one. It's very tiny on me, but I took the real Ghostbusters pack and repainted it to be like black, like the movie pack.
Hmm.
Did that for one of my nephews.
Oh, that's neat.
But yeah,
Um,
Billy is going to show up like, again, not just the Ghostbusters, but he's the puppeteer and the fabricator of the Sarlacc pit. And rumor is he's bringing Stay Puft's head
mhm.
for selfies.
That's really cool. Oh, and we should remind everyone. So as we're
Oh
talking
yeah.
about selfies, all the pricing on here are combo prices. So it's the price of getting an autograph and a selfie with the talent because we really want you to have the full
Mhm.
experience. In theory, you can negotiate with any of them to say, "Hey, I just want an autograph." Maybe you don't want to get in a photo. Maybe you don't want a selfie. Maybe you're trying to save some money. The actor will tell you if they're up for that and if it'll be any cheaper. But
Yeah,
all the pricing we're showing you is combo.
it's all going to be their choice. Is like I
Mhm.
said, they're giving us good enough prices that some of them may choose to go, okay, this first one, like the combo price is the autograph price too. But
Mhm.
like a second autograph, like if you want a Star Wars piece signed and you want a Ghostbusters piece signed, they might there might be some negotiation there, But then they might do a cheaper autograph. It's every individual talent. It's their choice.
Yep.
Would he
Um,
sign a bag of marshmallows? I mean, if you had a bag of Stay Puft marshmallows, I'm betting he'd bust out a Sharpie for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would actually test something and see what color works best.
Mhm.
With that in mind, also same thing goes back to the talent. They can choose what they want to sign and what they won't
Absolutely.
sign. As always, don't bring anything offensive. I was joking last week about the Playgirl magazine for Christopher Sean. I'm I'm sure he'd be a good sport about that. at the same time, like there may be people like maybe you play a character. I'll use a good example. The Boys has just returned to
Oh, yeah.
television. All right. In season 3, there is a character who is a Nazi, right?
Right.
That actress might not sign things with certain symbolism in the pictures, right?
Mhm.
Even though the character is associated with it. So same
Or
thing with like Indiana Jones, right?
or
Yeah.
don't bring like Nazi memorabilia. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
don't bring like a actual patches off of a German uniform or like a
Yeah.
hat. No.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Because one, they're not going to let you anywhere with that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, the actors in theory could say, "Oh, I don't really want to sign this picture," or "I don't want to sign this particular item." But I honestly, I think all the group here, like everything's very low risk. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think Billy is going to be very cool signing anything Ghostbusters and anything Boba Fett related. And there's definitely some Boba Fett relations coming.
Oh yeah. And we talked about the Playgirl for last week. It is a family event, okay? So yes, you can bring it, but
Mhm.
paper bag or something.
Cover it. Yeah, paper bag. The way they
Family
used to
event,
mail that
all
kind of stuff.
ages
Yeah.
until I think 8, all
Yeah.
ages event. So just be subtle. Be think. All
Be on
right.
good behavior.
Yes.
All right,
Well,
let's keep going. Who's next after
move
Billy?
on, Dickie Beer.
Okay, so we're in the Boba Fett territory now. So,
Yeah. Okay. Now we have to bust out the helmet because
yes.
this one I already have. Let's show you this gorgeous autograph. It's that there. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Dickie Beer, huge autograph, Boba Fett stunts.
Mm-hmm. Specifically from Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
That's his movie, and there's a couple of poses that we always use to tops, especially when he's holding the gun, that we know specifically that it's
Mhm.
him. Yeah, he's also really nice. I've met him multiple times. He's signed for us at Tops a lot. As you can see, he has a gorgeous autograph too. Like his
Oh
signature
yeah.
itself is really nice, and
Big
it's big.
sweeping
Yeah.
thing. He did it really nice, worked really nice with a black paint pen
Hmm.
on the plastic there. And he is really into being part of the Fett family. I met
Hmm.
him at Celebration Anaheim, and he was sitting right next to Daniel Logan. And he and Daniel just like had this back and forth the entire time. It was great.
Yep. I met him in a similar situation at Rhode Island Comic Con in 2017. So only about a year after I'd been at Tops, or no, wait, it was 2015. 2015. So I'm getting all my years confused. It was only about a year after I'd been at Tops, and he and Daniel and Jeremy
Mm-hmm.
and John
Wow.
Morton were all there. So those four Fets were on the road
Wow.
together, and you could tell that they were a family.
Well, and also look at the posters and stuff we have on this headshot with him, this advertisement. He's been in so much other stuff. If you want to get like this is Terminator, which one is this? This is Terminator Rise of the Machine, Starship Troopers,
Love Starship Troopers.
The Bourne Legacy. So like, he's gonna have some stuff. He'll have 8x10s and things to sign. But if you want something signed that's not in the Star Wars realm or not in their major character list, you may want to have a backup, have something with you. If you want him to sign Starship Troopers, bring Starship Troopers with you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Which, by the way, I love that movie.
Oh,
One of my all-time favorites. And I think in general, I would, once you decide what you want to get signed, make yourself an Excel file or a Google Doc
yeah.
or something of like who you want to get signed, the pricing, what type of piece, and bring what you want because you never know. Like we were actually just having a conversation before the show about someone who is ordering their 8x10s now for the event, and they were trying to figure out which ones to get, and it was becoming a thing. And I was like, oh, I hope people are bringing what they want signed, so they're not relying on the talent to have a wide selection of photos for such a small event.
Yeah, is Kevin is talking to Dickie Beer is very cool. Apparently he was also in The Last Crusade. Okay, these are things you should have told me like when I was making the promo.
Yeah,
I'd have put that in there for sure. Kevin, I think if you're talking about someone we're looking for, the voice of Crosshair is not Dickie Beer. is the voice of all the clones is D. Bradley Baker, and he's been across that in all of the animation. I don't think there has been another voice for any of the. Oh, there has been, because Daniel Logan has done a couple of the clones and some of the things. So there has been somebody other than D. Bradley Baker, but the vast majority of the time it's him.
Yeah. I think there's been a couple one-offs in like weird Clone Wars episodes, and we'll find out soon as we start doing Clone Wars Revisited starting in September. If anyone pops in as like a rando clone.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so moving on. I think that shot you're talking about, the shot with the gun, that probably is the shot of him right there from Return.
Yeah, there's a couple of different selects of that. There's one where he's holding it up slightly. It's a whole thing.
Cool. And
continuing in our Boba Fett mix of actors, we have John Morton, who is the Bespin Boba Fett. So he played Boba in Empire Strikes Back. We actually have very specific scenes from there as well that we always knew. We put him on trading cards and everything. And he's got a gorgeous signature too.
Is how he signs right there as Bespin Boba. John Morton. He'll sign that.
Yep. He's also Dax Ralter, or Dak Ralter, and if you're not sure who that is Luke's gunner pilot in Empire Strikes Back, the guy who's sitting in the back. So yeah, he signed.
He signed right there as this is the snow speeder. This is an old original Power of the Force, and it actually comes with a Luke and a Dak figure. If you get that in there. And what I'm saying is how conscientious he was about signing this and asking me, hey, where do you want me to sign it? And I'm like, I don't know where you want to sign it. He's like, well, are you ever going to plan to possibly have Mark Hamill sign this as well? He didn't say Mark Hamill. He said Mark. And I'm like, whoa, you just called the dude Mark. This is like, oh, well, here, I'll sign it here and I'll do it in this orange. So if you give a chance and you have Mark sign it, there's plenty of space. I love that.
He's very good about that with the Boba Fett stuff as well, because Jeremy always had top billing, and of course Jeremy's no longer with us. I think in theory now Tamora kind of has the top billing of Boba Fett, but John was very good about signing, and he'd always tell people like, I'm the Bespin Boba. Like the brotherhood of the Bobas, they're very good at sharing with each other, which is very nice. And John's a terrific guy. Spencer is saying that when if any of you guys get to meet him, ask him about Rocky Horror in London. He's got stories for days. I got to hang out with him a little bit at Celebration 2015 before we had him back at Celebration. I think it was 2017. I think he was at 19 as well. I don't think he's missed one in a while. And in 2015, I wasn't working talent at all. He just like popped over to the Topps booth and was just like chatting with us for a while. And I forget what he was going on. It was some really long story about something about the filming as we were like setting up, and I'm like sort of half listening while stocking shelves because everything was running late, but he was having the time of his life, and he's like, oh, I'm going to see Carrie and Kenny and everyone. And it was like old home week, right? But he's just super nice and just easy to talk to. So definitely take some time in your schedule and talk to John.
Oh yeah, and he will talk is because we're in a smaller con area. This isn't Celebration. I met him at a super small con outside of Washington, D.C. He was one of the 7 to 10 guests at the whole thing. And it's just, you get this kind of personalized time, which is why we've got this 4 to 8 time at Biggs. The time.
Yeah, it's gonna feel really special, which I'm excited about. All right, let's keep going. So far, Dickie Beer and John Morton on the Boba Fett front. Keep an eye out for more.
Dickie Beer and John Morton, and look at there.
Kevin and Tracy Thompson. I think we talked about them last week as well. Did we mention them last week?
I don't think we mentioned them last week. No.
No, I feel like they're in my head. They're not at the prior event.
No, you're thinking of something else that we'll get to later.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, but Kevin's always on our mind because like he's just always hanging out and doing stuff with us.
It is. This is Kevin and Tracy Thompson. Kevin is a virtual Cantina Hall of Fame inductee. I think we said maybe that Chris Bartlett has probably appeared the most on the show ever. If Chris has appeared the most, I'm betting Kevin has appeared the second most. because he's done so many watch-alongs and things with us. We've watched Return of the Jedi. We've watched the Ewok movies along together. Okay, man, it's like, whew.
Yeah. Battle for Endor is it's a challenge.
But yeah, and he's Chukatrak. He's like the main Ewok, and you can see over there in the picture there are figures for those Ewoks. Is even Chubray, his Return of the Jedi, got his own. He came in a set. That's Chubray and a Kmart exclusive right there. And there's Kevin's signature right there on it.
That's very cool. And of course, he has his book.
Well, he has Tracy's book.
Tracy, that's right. Tracy wrote it.
So you can get that book right there, and you can get Tracy and Kevin's signature on My Journey to Endor. It's a cool little deal. And where was it? I was trying to find the thing. They have these little neat little like Ewok holographic stickers of the book too. Love those.
It's very cool.
And a great read. It really is. I suggest if you really are obsessive about your signature things and copies, is buy two and have your reader copy and have your signed copy. Because see, I like to do it with authors for display. Is I like to get them on the cover. Some people do that book plate inside, and I'll do that if an author insists. But I like to see it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I want everything displayed. Although I have like binders and binders of stuff that are not on display, and that's just there's not enough wall space.
No, there's not. And for a lot of your 8x10s and stuff, we'll talk. That'll be one of the things next week. How do you keep? How do you store? How do you transport? We'll talk about what you need to do for that, because Frank is a font of information on that. He has some very specific products that work great. It's things that I've bought and used at his recommendation, and they've been great. They've been amazing. So,
and we have some of that covered in prior episodes of Celebrating Autographs. So we'll put a playlist together. I think we already have a playlist together on the YouTube channel.
There is.
We'll
if
put
you
a
go
link.
To the YouTube channel. You can just go to the Celebrating Autographs playlist, and you can see all of that. We did all of that in preparation for Celebration Anaheim. All of that stuff, so you can go back and look at all those tools and things.
Yep, highly recommend, because Frank really knows his stuff. And I think it was Frank and Dave doing that, if I'm remembering correctly.
Frank is the on air for Celebrating Autographs, and I was the producer for most of that. So I'm like the man in the chair, and like Jeff does for you guys for Rebels.
Yep, awesome. All right, Kevin and Tracy, make sure you hang out with them. They're just pistols. They're just like really. I mean, they're fun. Like, you know how some people are nice and some people are fun. They are fun. They're also nice, but like more importantly, they are fun. You want to hang out with them.
Well, and like Biggs, Kevin runs the place, because Kevin, Kevin was like I don't know if we refer to him as host or MC or what, but he was there for the last Boonta Anaheim, and it was great.
Yeah, endless. Exactly. Yeah, Sherry, I've been on some of those. His inductee night. Yeah, he's got stories, and they are always. He's not run out of stories either. He still has stories. That's what's crazy. It's like, is he cooking up new ones? Because they keep going. All right, we'll see if he has any new ones when we're on the trip this year for sure. All right, let's keep going through our list. There aren't that many more to cover, actually.
He's not just in the Star Wars. Is Kevin's the crossover thing? Kevin's in Blade Runner as well. And Weird Science. Forgot about that.
That's right.
Blade Runner. I know.
We got to print everyone's IMDb's. I'm gonna bring a dossier on everyone. That way I know exactly what to ask them.
All right. Next, Margot.
Another fantastic Ewok. Which is very cool that we have like all these killer Ewoks in the mix. So we talk about Margot a lot on the channel, actually, but this is the first time she's doing an in-person event with us, which is very exciting. So Margot's character, is it Tucket? I always forget how to pronounce it?
I don't know if I'm correct. I say Tokat.
Tokat, yeah.
But
From Return of the Jedi, and she, like I mentioned, first timer, $40 combo price, and I think we'll put her near Kevin and Tracy, because I'm sure they have stories and go way back. So I can't imagine.
Yeah, is absolutely. I'm sure that they have stories, and Margot has the stories. I have to be in there. It's I've got to find something unique and that I want for Margot to sign, because I've said before is Return of the Jedi is my gateway to Star Wars. That's like the one that I remember seeing in the theaters first, most, whatever, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I love Return of the Jedi. Whenever I do any type of interview off this network, like if someone invites me on, you know how they usually do like 5 questions you have to answer if you're visiting the channel. And so it's like, oh, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? What's the one that got you into the saga? Do you have a favorite character? What do you like best about Star Wars? I sort of give you that rundown. I always talk about being a child of Endor. That's sort of my way
Yeah.
in. I was born in 81. So when I was a little kid, I'm certain that I saw Return of the Jedi before I ever saw A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, or really knew what Star Wars was. And I was obsessed with the Ewoks.
Oh
I
yeah.
watched the animated TV show of the Ewoks, and then I started watching Droids after that. Because Ewoks and Droids, I think, were like a combo dilly that happened. Oh, what's this now?
This is this is Wicket, signed
Zoom
by
out a
Warwick.
little. He's taking up too much of the frame. Oh, wait,
Sorry.
signed by Warwick?
Yes.
Oh, I see it now. Very nice.
Is that, and then and Ewoks are back, because like Disney has the new ones. These are relatively new little cuddlies at Disney.
Very cute. I love Warwick Davis and his whole family. We had Warwick and Annabelle at Celebration 2019, and Annabelle was equally lovely. And Warwick is a spectacular host. He hosted some Star Wars weekends back in the day, and obviously hosted a whole bunch of panels at Celebration. He is the host with the most. He and Kevin are both like excellent hosts. Yeah, if you need someone to do your event, they're the people to go to.
Oh, and Jeff's also mentioning is Margot was a citizen of Batu.
Jeff, we got to get Jeff to proofread our slides so I can add this stuff in.
Yeah, is worked right there in the parks as well.
Very nice. All right, let's keep going on our list. Make sure you swing by Margot and get some Ewok merch signed.
Ewok, yeah.
Love me the Ewoks. All right, our final FET that we're announcing, which is very cool because we have 4 of them in the mix. This is Mark Anthony Austin. And you may be asking yourself, how does Mark Anthony Austin play Boba Fett in Star Wars A New Hope when Boba Fett didn't appear until 1978 in the parade and then show up in Empire Strikes Back, right? The special edition.
Time machine in his hot tub.
Exactly. It was a hot tub time machine, as it always is. What was it? Whatever it takes. We put our fists in. Yeah, this was the special edition added scene of Boba Fett and Jabba the Hutt. So Mark Anthony Austin, who's actually like a graphic designer and is always talking about special effects. If you follow him on Instagram, he actually does a lot of like technical stuff on Instagram where he shows scenes that he worked on, and he's a creator actually first and foremost. Like a lot of the people that we've had listed coming to this event, and the event for the event we were talking about last week for Monday with the Heroes of the Filoniverse, he's also like a maker just in the digital space, but he somehow ended up being the on-person Boba Fett for A New Hope, which is awesome. So I got him to sign autographs for us at Topps probably in 2019 or right in at the end, like right in 2020, pre-pandemic. So he was one of the last autograph signers I ever brought on before I left and ended up and COVID and ended up going to Ruby's and everything. So it's him, Dickie Beer, John Morton, and Iad. Oh my God, help me say his name, Dave.
Elbatar. Iad Elbatar.
Iad Elbatar. I don't know why I never get it right.
You'll notice that I'm not dragging out the Boba Fett helmet for Mark Anthony Austin because this is one I need. I've been looking for him at a con for quite a while, and he's just not there.
Yeah, he doesn't really do the concert.
He is going to be there at our event, so I will be flying the Boba Fett helmet across the country again.
You mentioned that last week, and people were probably trying to do the math because I know you've been on enough shows where you've shown the helmet,
Yeah.
and it seems like almost all the Boba Fett's are on there.
There's a
Because
lot, but there's a few, especially now that we've got the Book of Boba Fett show, because I've done watch-alongs here with Eod, but I've never met him in person, so I haven't got his signature. I haven't got Mark's signature. It will regrettably never be finished because I did not have it. It didn't exist when Jeremy was still with us.
yeah.
But I've got a plan for that. I'm constantly hitting eBay for like a plaque that says Boba Fett with it, that's already signed, or that
Yeah.
sort of thing, or an 8x10 to go behind it. That's
Yeah, I think you need to almost create a shadow box situation. Yeah, and then have Jeremy's separate with like a mini helmet or something. Like, yeah, that's the best way to do it.
the way.
It's tricky because I remember when Carrie passed away, and a lot of people were working on multicast pieces of Mark and Carrie and Harrison, and just depending on the order in which you're getting your signatures, like someone's going to be missing from the trio now, and so it's sad. I was having this conversation with a former coworker of mine from Tops, and how the autographing game has changed quite a bit, as many of the original trilogy signers are either no longer with us or retired from signing, and how all of that has shifted tremendously. But we have a whole new crop of people coming from the DisneyLand of content now. And keeping these characters alive, which is nice.
That's the thing is Eod's done stunts, and he's appeared in the Boba Fett suit. He's doubled and done different things for Tamora. And there's other stunt people on there as well. And if you listen to our show with Eod and our show with JJ Dashnaw, who's the stunt coordinator for Book of Boba Fett, and
excuse me, my husband JJ Dashnaw, just to be clear, the hot sheriff.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to steal him from Timothy Oliphant. Yeah, there are multiple people who are bringing that character to life at any given moment.
Yeah, so the list, it may never be complete because it may continue to grow and evolve, and at some point I may just say, enough. That's the line. That's the thing.
Yep.
I
have an autographed 8x10 that includes Jeremy, the four I was talking about earlier in the show. So Jeremy, Dickie, John, and Daniel Logan. And so I should bring that one to add Mark Anthony too. I don't know if I would put Tamora on there because it is a classic Boba Fett picture with young baby Daniel from prequel era when he's 12, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to add Tamora, except that like it's also from Attack of the Clones. I was like, oh, should I put him on there? This is the back and forth you have on this 8x10. A helmet feels a little more all-encompassing. Like, I think you could add Ming-Na Wen to that helmet.
It's possible, but if I go and add Ming-Na Wen to that helmet, then
then you need everyone. Yeah,
big.
Exactly.
Like I have my Clone Wars cast piece, which is a clone trooper helmet. But see, when it gets bigger and bigger, guess what? I just bought another clone helmet, the exact same one, over and over. So I'm gonna have it can keep going and growing because I'm having people sign huge on that thing.
Yeah, I like that plan. I'm working on my Rebels piece, and I'm running out of real estate now. But I don't care. I'm gonna fill it until I'm out of space. You won't be able to even see the characters.
Nice.
All right. So Mark Anthony Austin brings us to our fourth Fett that we've announced, and if you sort of count Billy because he did the Sarlacc pit,
yeah,
we got 4.5. We'll round down, but still. Very exciting that we've got so much Boba representation, especially after the Book of Boba Fett. All these guys definitely got a bump in terms of the character being out there for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, let's keep going on our list.
He's been in so many other things: X-Men, Days of Future Past, Live, Die, Repeat. Whatever. What's that movie? Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. That movie changed titles like 4 times. I don't know why, but
and then Battleship, which
Battleship. I worked at Nabisco when Battleship came out because Chips Ahoy had activation for it, and there was a display in store, and one of the actresses in the movie, she was on the Battleship display, right? And I guess at some point, like
Rihanna.
It wasn't Rihanna, but who's one of the other women in the movie? I don't know. The movie was terrible, but the girl tweeted. she's like, "Why am I on this display? I'm gluten free." It was like that kind of thing. And Nabisco was like, your licensing team approved it. Basically, you have no say in this kind of shit because it's like, hey, that's the movie poster.
Well,
Like
that's why
put
the
on the
dude just
display of
got
cookies
kicked
for
out of the
Chipsoid.
Nathan's hot dog eating contest. But that's
Oh yeah. That was it. So dumb.
Squirrel. That's sorry, rabbit hole. We don't need to
Yeah.
go.
I gotta
But
dig that up now.
$40 combo price. It's gonna be great.
We're never gonna get out of here on time because we're like, oh, we have plenty of time to do this
bring your
episode.
helmet.
Yeah.
You put it on. He'll put it on. Everybody puts a helmet on.
We have 47 slides left. We gotta hustle.
There we go. Oh, this one. This is a new announcement, people. We have not put this out there before. You haven't missed it. It hasn't been there. This is exclusive to this show. All right. New guest, Fawn Davis. I'm excited. This is another one of those people who is a maker. I have made no bones about that. I am so excited about the makers on these. I'm excited for San Francisco that we'll talk about next time. But Fawn's done models. You can see him modeling there. He's got his own apparently Jeff has met Fawn. He's a cool dude. He's models for prequels done. He's got Fonco Studios, whatever it is, his own model shop. And I forget the name. Anybody in the chat know the name of this creation, this little camo robot like mech creation thing that he has? That's like one of his deals.
That was the BattleBots thing.
No, that's the little camo thing. But below that, right there below his name, Fawn, if you see that, that is Mouser Mecha Catbot. Mouser Mecha Catbot was his BattleBot. He appeared in all but one season, maybe, of BattleBots. And Mouser, I think, was like kind of the middleweight division. It's like a little low flipper deal. And it battled all. It was a thing. I watched.
I know. I remember. Well, I shouldn't say I remember. I was drunk and or high at my fraternity house watching this. There's no way I remember any of it. That show is insane. Remember, I went to Carnegie Mellon, so it hit like all of the right notes for everyone I knew, right?
Well, I was in engineering school at the time before I'd switched to like the artsy part of the design school, and we were like sitting there going, "They're making the robots, man!
Yep.
They're fighting them." So it was a really cool deal. And if you can find the little mini mate, essentially like little Hot Wheels deal of Mouser Mecha Catbot, it's like hundreds of dollars at this point. It's a rare, popular one. So I'm on the hunt, man.
I want everyone to ask Fawn about the BattleBots days because I have questions. I know that's not how I'm going to use my time. So
yes, it's like who can
and very inexpensive, $30 for your combo price to get an autograph and a photo. That's very cool.
Yeah. Yep. See, yeah. I think that's going to be great. And it, again, a person with some stories. If you want to know more about Fawn, there's some really like search him up on YouTube. There's a couple of like little mini documentaries on some of the stuff that he's done, like little interviews with him, and they're really nice. It tells all about stuff. For those of you that can hear the dogs barking, sorry, it's my mutts. It's feeding time, so they're
fine.
Excited.
They'll wait. They'll starve.
No, they're being fed. That's why they're making.
Oh, is that what it is?
Don't say that. No. Do not know. The PETA people will be all over me and all in the group.
Oh, well,
no, they are not waiting for me to be done with this. They are being fed currently. That is why they're excited.
I'm going to bring out all the rage from the people who are upset about me making fun of the gluten-free over here. But
and look,
I believe
apparently Fawn's done some stuff with Adam Savage's Tested.
Oh, very cool.
So he will know some of the people in our San Francisco group as well.
I think I've identified my culprit from the Battleship movie. I believe it's Brooklyn Decker.
Okay.
That tracks. I forgot Alexander Skarsgård was in that movie. That movie was so terrible, and I love Alexander Skarsgård. Yeah. He must have been god awful for me to forget about him being in it.
That movie had its moments, but in general, no.
Terrible. Ugh. All right, let's keep moving.
Merle the Loth. I do not leave them in a tower with no way out and no bed. But
Merle's fine. I love that Star Wars had to identify that. They were very concerned about that. Meanwhile, the fandom is at its worst right now. Can I be that guy to be like, hey, Star Wars?
Oh,
By the way, everyone tune in on Wednesday. My understanding is that the Nerf hurdles are going to let you people have it, and not by you people. Everyone in our chat is fine. It's the rest of the Star Wars. Yeah.
As well they should.
I'm so sick
Not
of all
the
of it.
First freaking time the midichlorians have been influenced by the Force and the thing and done.
Yeah.
So,
It's the kind of thing where I'm like, I like the show, but now I will defend it with my life. It went from me you know how it's like, oh, if I were to leave like an honest review of the show, I think it's like a B+. And now I'm like, it's perfect. Don't even touch it. Like, you know, the response to their stupidity is what happens, right? Like I was like, you can't criticize a thing about it. It's perfect. You're dumb.
well,
Like
I think
now,
the entire concept of review bombing, and it's ridiculous. It's give an accurate, honest review of what. It's my whole thing with like news and whatnot is like there should be some fact checking and stuff behind things, you know.
So couple things here. One, so for everyone who doesn't know the specific of what's going on, the Acolyte TV show has been review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes by a bunch of crying, whiny man babies who are, yes, Sherry, very toxic.
Yes.
And it's really embarrassing. But here's what makes it truly embarrassing. There's a movie called The Acolytes that has nothing to do with a TV show called The Acolyte.
Oh no, they
and
have
weirdly
done
enough,
that too.
Weirdly enough, it's directed by Joel Edgerton, so there's a Star Wars connection. The movie came out in like 2009 or something, and it has been review bombed into the toilet because people are saying it ruins Star Wars. So that right there tells you how dumb these people are, which is why you can't actually show them any respect. My feeling is
Rotten Tomatoes needs to find some kind of way, and I don't know what it is. I have no solution, to where the reviews are from people who have actually seen the content.
Yeah, you need a quiz as to like what happened in the show.
Exactly.
And so as soon as you pop up one thing where it's like enter your email address, here's the thing. I also don't think that your first review should actually be published, because if you're doing a one-time review, which is usually what these review bombs are, it's bots. It's bots created with like fake emails that have never been verified, and they just throw out these like one-sentence reviews just to click the 1 star and pull down a review. If you have no other reviews on the site, but you have a 1-star review of something you've hated, your review actually probably shouldn't count. And none of your reviews should count until you have at least 10. Like, I feel like you need to create a threshold. I believe that like Letterboxd has something like that where you need to be like kind of verified. So Letterboxd is a much better aggregator than Rotten Tomatoes.
Right. And it's what they did with Solo. Yeah. And Solo, I like Solo.
Yeah, I have no problems with Solo. I actually like Solo quite a bit. And I think in the grand scheme of things, it's, if you're going to divide better to worst, I think it's in the better bucket of not just Disney, but Star Wars content. I would put Solo to the top, toward the top, not at the top. But yeah, there are people who just went after it for no reason. No. Also, like Rotten Tomatoes proves how stupid it is when you look at like the audience score and the critic score differentials on certain movies, and you see that like Revenge of the Sith has got like, I forget what it is. I'll pull them up while we're doing other things.
But then don't get me started on the other way around, because sometimes the critic score is in the toilet and people love the movie.
Oh yeah, that's the new Godzilla X Kong. Yeah, Kong, right? Like the critics were like, "This is terrible," and the audience is like, "This was fun." So,
I think they did that on Dial of Destiny as well. The critics hated Dial of Destiny, and fans were like, "Oh, it's a fun Han Solo. It's a fun Indiana Jones movie."
I didn't like it, but it's fine, and I don't have enough bad things to say about it for me to care. Okay, here we go. Revenge of the Sith has a 66% audience score.
That is one of the most quotable Star Wars movies on the planet that people just high. Anyway, so moving on, Fallen Davis is Mouser Mecha Catbot. Ask him about the BattleBots and Funko Studios and all of the things that he's done. So many cast pieces that you could do this. The special edition,
all the movies.
The Mandalorian is, if you're getting your Mando cast piece as well. As I'm not sure exactly, you'd have to ask him what exactly things that he's done in the Mandalorian, but there.
Yeah.
All right.
Great conversation to have, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
And another new announcement. We have not told people who this is yet, that this person is going to be there. Boom. Daniel Stevens. Daniel Stevens, it's hard to read because the small font, because so many of the things. Okay. He's uncredited double for Anakin Skywalker, and like I had to go through like 3 or 4 different versions of the Anakin pick before this would be acceptable, because Spencer was like, no, the other way Anakin. No, the Anakin. No, Padawan braid Anakin with the, yes, that one. So this has been a while ago, but he was a double for Padawan braid Anakin in Attack of the Clones, specifically that. That's cool. He's been in a ton of other things. If you look at, what is it? Is it Sith? It's in Sith, I think. That one of the red cloaked Imperial Guardy dudes, like when Yoda busts up in the office and just like force pushes the one just like across the room, Daniel Stevens. There was no way I could get that in this graphic. It was just a thing. But you can see here in the Mandalorian stuff, he's this Mandalorian trooper. He's an Imperial. He's specifically he's a cloning assistant. But again, 3 big old major cast pieces that you could have him in, and here's the biggie. Here's what Mike's getting signed. The Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
So many of the things.
He's in a ton of stuff too. If you go to his IMDb, he's been doing stunts forever, and he's in a huge variety of things, including True Blood, which keeps popping up somehow. I love that stupid show. He's most recently in Roadhouse doing stunts. He's probably stunting for Jake Gyllenhaal because he looks kind of like him.
Oh yeah. Please sign. Yoda kicked my butt.
Oh.
Oh, that's fun. But yeah, is Hugh Jackman's stunt double for Wolverine, and I think Spencer was saying in more than just this movie, he's been doing that for a while as well.
He's in Days of Future Past. He's in all the stuff. So
yeah,
he was in Dollhouse too. Yeah, I mean, there's look at his IMDb. It's like wild. He's an Iron Man, so he's been with the MCU since the beginning.
Oh, that's right, because Spencer was telling us as well. He's body doubled or stunted for Star-Lord and Hemsworth for Thor, I think, as well,
and Tony Stark.
Yeah. So
his first Star Wars credit is Attack of the Clones, going back to 2002.
So very cool. Lots of pieces and things that you can have here with Daniel Stevens. But again, if it's something specific you want that may not be the Star Wars, or maybe one of those like deeper cuts, I'm sure he will have Star Wars. I'm sure he will have Wolverine, possibly that shot right there. But if you want one of the deeper cut things that he's done, like a Thor piece, bring it with you.
Yeah, that's the best advice we can give you for all of these guys, is like, don't assume they're going to have the picture you want at the table.
Yes.
Especially because like the prices are so reasonable on all these people. Like, these are cheap prices. You can afford to go out and buy yourself an 8x10 or print something to bring for these guys.
Well, yeah, because like these guys bringing the 8x10s, 8x10s, getting them printed yourself, like, it's going to be expensive for them to have like an entire table full of 8x10s, because 8x10s ain't cheap. So yeah, bring your stuff.
Okay, what else we got?
More stuff we're going to thank right here before we announce a few other announcements is thanks to our event sponsors. Go ahead there.
So we've got Hyperspace Props and XLE, Experience Level Entertainment. They are our signature sponsors for the
Title
event.
sponsors. Are we saying
The
title?
title sponsors, yes. They are keeping us afloat over here, which we really appreciate. So thank you so much to Hyperspace Props and to Experience Level Entertainment. We also have Rebel Scum Con, Scotty's Toy Shop, Andy's, Ruckle Construction, which is
Construction.
Ski Pruple over there.
Of course, I
Elite
know him.
Signatures. Okay.
Oh, Jeff, that's apparently the old slide. I'm sorry, I'm not responsible. Nope, not responsible, Jeff.
Do we have new sponsors that we don't know about? Are we missing people? I see Star Wars Fan Day over there.
The Star Wars Fan
swap it
Fun
out.
Day, the Nerf Herder Company, Elite Signatures, Andy's Boat Repair, Scotty's Toy Shop. Did we say Rebel Scum Con?
Mm-hmm.
Rebel Scum, okay.
Which is coming up in like 2 weeks or something. It's really soon.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat if you're going to Rebel Scum Con. They have quite the list of
I'm
people attending.
not going to that one. I'm going to Superhero Con this weekend, which also has a number of Star Wars people, and so it's gonna be fun.
I've taken a lot of time off work this year already. I'm out of days, and it is June.
No, I have the privilege, good fortune, bad fortune of being unemployed in the summer.
Yes. Yeah.
So
have at it. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, Rebel Comics and okay. Oh yeah, so Rebel Base Comics out of Charlotte is that the one that should be on here? Spencer, keep us going. Wagon and Walking and K&K Pressing. So keep us going and keep us honest. We will put in the group. We'll put the real version of this slide for thanks to everybody when we announce this. We'll have that. You guys, Jeff, you want to put that in the comments or something? The real thing, or we'll put a post up with that later.
Yeah, we'll definitely put a post with all of the sponsors, which I think every sponsor is getting their own dedicated post anyway, thanking them. But we should definitely put something up, especially because we're in the 6-week window. It's so exciting. I can't believe it. It's so soon.
Okay, here we go. Let's do this one. Thanks to Hyperspace Props, XLE Productions, Rebel Scum Con, Scotty's Toys, the Nerf Herder Company, Andy's Boat Repair, Ruckle Construction and Real Estate, K&K Pressing, My MTA Travel, Wagon and Walking, and Rebel Base Comics.
Thank you guys for helping us.
Thank you, Jeff, for keeping us straight.
Thank you guys for helping us put on this awesome event. We could not do it without the sponsors. We said it last week. These things, even when they're one location, 2 locations, we got to rent out a bar. We have to tell the owners who own this place that we're going to bring in people and make them money, but we still have to pay for things. There's actually quite a bit of planning, more than anything, less even so about the money. And believe me, money's involved. It's the manpower involved.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of work that goes into organizing these events. Spencer is really on the front lines of that. Dave and Jeff are doing a ton of work for it. I'm doing a little bit of work, but there's everyone across the network is all hands getting ready for the vacation. So make sure that all of you guys who bought a ticket has an awesome experience.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some of the other awesome experiences and things that are going on here. This is our wrap up. This is all the prices. We'll put this out there. Fawn's 30, Daniel's 40, Billy's 40, Mark Anthony Austin 40, 80, Aiden Barton 40, Margot's 40, Kevin and Tracy 60. I think that's each is what that says. It's very small. And that's also, the book in there as well. John Morton 80, Dickie Beer 80. These guys been around a while, is get them on the con circuit and this. So worth it. All of these so much for the experience of meeting these people. And keeping going. Oh, this is what you were thinking of earlier. This is what we announced last week. Is
right when I said it, I was like, wait a minute, they're not the Skywalkers. Yes. Yeah, so Richard and Sarah are going to be at both events.
Yes. That was what we talked about last time. It is not a mistake that I put 2 dates in the graphic. Is they will be at both of the events. With their book, Today in Star Wars History, a absolute font of knowledge on Star Wars, and we'll be able to tell you on both of the days, on July 29th at Boonta Hollywood, what happened in Star Wars on that day, and on July 30th, what happened on that day in Star Wars? Ask. All right. And this is a new announcement too. I don't think we've made this next one. Is boom, Craig Miller. Craig is going to be back at Biggs. Craig was with us in 22 at Biggs as well. He's the former head of publicity for Lucasfilm. He is, correct me if I'm wrong, people, again as well. Really, a lot of the person responsible behind like the Sesame Street and Star Wars kind of crossover deal that happened with Henson and that, and the founder creator of the Star Wars like fan club, like put all that original stuff out.
That's amazing.
And he has his book, which is Star Wars Memories, My Time in the Death Star Trenches. You can totally find out more about Craig if you want to know more. Craig was a speaker on one of our speaker series episodes, so you can go back and the wealth of stories and things that he tells that entire episode, and it would like more than an hour of him talking about Star Wars and the things that he was working on and doing it at that time. And others, more stuff. There's still more coming. We totally blew past the an hour, but
only 10 minutes over. This isn't bad.
Where are we going? There we go.
Yes, as I mentioned a few times earlier, 4 FETs, with representation from a few different, all the streams of content, right? So Mark Anthony Austin is from A New Hope Special Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Dickie Beer was in Return of the Jedi. John Morton was in The Empire Strikes Back. And Iad was in the Book of Boba Fett. So you're not just getting 4 FETs, you're getting 4 FETs from 4 different movies or TV shows, which is awesome. And they've never done an event together, obviously. And they're all, this is their first event with all of them with first event with us. So this is super exciting.
Some of them have been together at other events. There have been like dinners with 4 FETs or 5 FETs or this or that or the other. There's been things, but sorry, I'm getting messages from the boss as we speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them have been together here, there, and other places, but no, not all of them together at the time. Iad is new to this because the Book of Boba Fett is new to this, but more FETs, more fun.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see all those guys there.
Troy's like, so much FET, so little time.
You got plenty of time. You got 4 hours. You can spend an hour with each of them.
Well, no. Because Iad is, you see on the graphic, Iad's at Scum and Villainy because he's one of the Filoni verse. So Iad will be on the first night, but Mark and Dickie and John will all be at the one we're talking about now at
See, this is why we need Dave here, because I will just say, meet us in California sometime in July.
They are
we'll
different
figure it out.
Places. So. They are different days.
Yeah, different days, different events, different people. I totally know what's happening, you guys. I am intimately involved.
See, yeah, Troy is bring bring some of your printed 3D printed buckets. You could totally get FETs on your own bucket and make it even more personal. I love that.
Yep, I like that plan. I think I'm gonna add Mark to my 8x10.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe get Iad on a new piece and start because I want to do a Boba Fett cast piece.
Yeah.
And we have a few other people from Book of Boba Fett who are going to be there, and I feel like he makes more sense on a Boba cast piece where I already have this like Boba Fett specific character thing from the original trilogy or original 6 movies sort of brewing, and I thought it was done. I wasn't even thinking about other people who are missing. So
agreed. I like that. That's a good idea.
It's a good
All
plan.
right, now what else have we got coming? Boom.
T-shirt.
The actual ones have come in. This is a mock-up on the Mando there, but the actual shirts have come in. If you check out Spencer's post on the Facebook page, they look really nice. So that's the kind of deal. It is check out our thing. It's got all 3 of our events there in Arabesh, the Boonta Eve, the titles of it. It's Heroes of the Feloniverse, Galaxy's Most Wanted, and Creators of the Universe, and all your times and dates and fun stuff there. So check it
And they
out.
have sleeves, so up to you how you want to handle that.
They do have sleeves, but
Yeah,
Mando cut his off, so you can as well.
exactly. Get yourself an X-Acto knife or scissors, and you're good to go. Because it will be 1,000 degrees in July in California.
Yes.
I'm excited. I love a T-shirt. I've too many.
Yeah. And then boom. Also, you're sitting there wondering what you want to get signed. I don't know you can always do an event piece. We announced that there's a poster for the last event for Heroes of the Feloniverse. There's a poster right here for the Galaxy's Most Wanted.
PCN scissors.
Oh yeah, that's what we need. VCN scissors so you can, just cut the sleeves off of all the shirts.
I will be in charge of sleeve removal at the event.
And
That'll be one of my gigs. I've got a few jobs already, so I'll bring my own razor blade for that. What I like about this poster is this seems like a really achievable cast piece to get done at the event. It's really 10 signings, 9 signings really, to get the poster filled. The last event has a lot more people on it.
Oh,
and
it
so,
does.
This is doable.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all their names on there in Arabesh, like the bounty puck would have it in canon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your bounty puck is the actual names under there. So these are all available again with our sponsors and everything on there available at the event.
And the
If you
quick
don't
math
want to
on
get it
this,
signed, just get it anyway to remember your time at the event.
yeah, you should definitely at least get the poster, even if you're not going to get an autograph. But the quick math on this is a fully signed version of this would run you about $500. Most of the people signing here are $40.
Yeah.
Dickie and John are a little bit more expensive, but truly, like, this is a doable poster, especially if you're looking to really do all the things. We almost should create like a bingo card of like, did you get the cast poster? Did you get the cast poster fully signed? Like, we could do all that kind of stuff.
See, right there, you can work on these again right, for the autos.
Yep.
And more. What are we doing the day after when we're all hungover? And
I'm so excited. This will be my last event before I head home.
Disneyland.
Yeah, it's going to be such a good time. There's a lot happening at Disneyland too. Obviously, it is a prime Star Wars destination because of Galaxy's Edge, and we're going to be doing a few things there. I know we have some slides to specifically showcase what it is, but we have a swag trading event happening. What's the location? It's near the Falcon, right?
Hold on, we have a slide for that? I think we have a slide for that.
It's
right there.
Right?
Virtual Cantina is swag meetup. So at Disneyland, you're going to know us because we will have our racers. Those came out. These are the original racers from the March family vacation right there. And right there at 2 p.m. at the X-Wing. And that's near the Resistance base. So we're not down there over there by the Falcon, not by the TIE Echelon. Is over at the Resistance base. There's a couple of little seating areas and some walls and like a little round thing, couple little pop-up merch stalls and things. But at 2 p.m. there on July 31st, we're going to be meeting and trading swag. Now, you can trade swag anytime you darn well please on the family vacation. I know that I've designed a number of pieces of swag, both for myself and others, that people are going to have multiple pieces of swag. I happen to have Disneyland specific swag. So that's what I will be giving out and trading at this event. See, there it is. I'm sorry, it's right there. So
I love me some swag.
That's all you're getting. That's the only preview you're getting of my swag, but I will have that at this event. We'll have some trip specific swag. Lots of people have lots of things. It's going to be great.
I'm excited about this. I will have no swag to trade, by the way, but I will be taking all of the swag. Just want everyone to be known. I'm setting clear expectations.
Yeah.
I'm also only going to be at the Disneyland. I'm going to be at Disneyland probably for most of the day, but I'm taking the red eye that night, so I probably have to leave at like 7 o'clock or something. I gotta see.
Oh, you'll miss
It's bad.
fireworks.
Yeah, look, I can only do so much. It's that because I gotta and I'm taking the red eye in Thursday and going straight to the office. It's that bad.
Whew.
Yeah,
Oh
it'll be
my
all right though.
gracious. So yeah, but we're gonna invade Disneyland. We will make an absolute nuisance of ourselves, and
Mhm.
we'll all be rolling around riding Rise of the Resistance. Everybody going through and piloting the Millennium Falcon. So let me just say, I was at Disney World this past weekend, and I was piloting, or I was riding Smuggler's Run, and on that people with so many people who just had absolutely no idea what they were doing. And I want to go and ride smugglers with like experienced Falcon pilots.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to see what kind of damage we can really do, or specifically not damage the Falcon, but do that. So yeah, so many things. But Swag Meetup's going to be super fun. And this one, we did this at the last Disney World vacation. We did this in Disney World. We had one of these when we were in Anaheim at Celebration as well. Is our friends over there at the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Discord have helped us set up a lightsaber meetup.
That's gonna be very cool.
It's gonna be nice.
I want to bring mine, my like
Yeah.
fancy one that I made at the lightsaber
At
experience.
Sabi?
Yeah, at Savi's. But I can't be traveling with that all week. It's this is where
So
I'm. Yeah.
you can travel with these. I've done it. I brought my sabers. I actually knew we were having a meetup, and I brought multiple sabers. I didn't do it, Jeff. I didn't stretch it out. It wasn't me. It's I don't know. We get funny
People have
about
a lot of criticisms about the PowerPoint this episode. I gotta
but,
tell you.
but bring your sabers out. They're not impossible to travel with.
They're doable, yeah.
They are TSA legal.
Mhm.
If you have the Disney Legacy sabers, you can take the blade off. I keep my blades in a plastic poster tube, like an expandable one.
Mhm.
Jeff's talking about he booked a Savi's for somewhere
Ooh.
around dark where he's going to go build one right before this, and he will have it available. You could purchase one at Doc Ondor's, a legacy one. You could build one there. I think a lot of us have Savi's reservations for that day. I know I do. But
Oh, I didn't realize everyone was going to make lightsabers. It
oh,
makes sense, yeah. Don't you
but
guys
you
already
can
have
travel with
lightsabers? I'm
them.
so confused.
I brought 4, I think, if you count
Oof.
my double-bladed one as one to Celebration Anaheim. So they're travelable. Break them down,
Yeah.
put your hilts in your carry-ons, like go in there
Do
knowing
not
that
put your hilt in your
TSA is
carry-on,
gonna
but
go
put that
like,
in your checked
hey,
bag.
what's that?
Yeah.
You know, they will. They're gonna do it.
I
But
think you need to put your hilt in your checked bag. They are not going to let you put that in your carry-on.
yeah, they will. Totally travel with it.
Okay. I'm suspicious. But
So because I have as well is I brought the blades. The blades were in my personal item. That's what that poster tube thing is. It's a plastic poster tube with some insulation foam and the blades just kind of stuck down in there, and that fits in the overhead compartment or whatnot. And then yes, I had the hilts in my carry-on, just brought it up there. They run it through the scanner and they're like, hey. And I'm like, open it up, dudes, check it out. Lightsabers. And then they're like, oh, cool, lightsabers. And then you're good. I do know that it's a little bit easier in like John Wayne. They don't blink because they go through there all the time. People that are coming back from Anaheim, MCO Disney World, nobody cares.
yeah.
Yeah, is you can get it right there. Is if you carry on in the Savi's bag, the big lightsaber over your shoulder holster, there's generally between first class and business class, there's like a little coat closet or whatever. Is the attendants a lot of times will go, yeah, I know what that is here, and I'll just put it in the coat closet.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah.
I thought that when I did mine, I was coming back from Florida. I'm pretty sure I had to put it in my check bag, but that's you know how the rules are at the TSA. It's all
Oh,
theater anyway.
it
Um,
is
it's
if it
ridiculous.
changes, it changes on the agent. Be polite,
Yeah,
be nice, be
yeah.
understanding. But yeah, I've carried them on completely before.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know for everyone. I'm considering sending mine via mail to Mike's house. Um,
And that's an option as well.
yeah.
If you build
Not for everyone in the chat. Don't everyone start mailing their lightsabers to Mike. But there, in theory, if you had someone to mail it to, it would save you the trouble of bringing it on the plane.
and I'm pretty sure that you can take your sabers that you build at Savi's
Yeah,
and you can take them to the droid depot and you can ship them out of there.
yeah,
That you can actually ship your stuff from Disney. See, yep, carried on the plane to and from Chicago,
yep,
and Troy did the same. So the TSA is getting there. They
yeah.
understand most people the lightsabers,
My
but
thought was that like it's still a piece of metal this big, like it's a
it
lead
is.
pipe.
It
So
is.
it's which is one of the murder weapons in Clue. Last I checked. So my feeling is it's like these Stanley Cups now. These things are weapons. Like
Well, see, I
there's already
wasn't.
been a couple of instances of people hitting each other with these cups at gyms, which I'm thinking is more for viral content than anything else. But like, yeah. But
Anything
yes,
you
also
buy,
everyone sent to Mike.
can be shipped from the park. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean it's doable. I was concerned about I thought that the fact that it was a rechargeable battery, essentially, that you can't have the batteries and the things
Hmm.
and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, keep your receipts. Like if you
Yes.
buy the thing at the Savi's, just so they know that you're not shipping one that you bought 2 years ago. Um,
Yeah.
keep your receipts and roll over there.
Always keep your receipts.
Um,
Meanwhile, we are well over time,
oh,
and I
and
know
but
we only have a couple of slides left.
we do. But we actually have something that doesn't show up on the slides. Back to Galaxy's Most Wanted. That's what we're talking about.
Hmm.
The event there at Biggs Fullerton. There's another surprise, and this might even be a surprise to you, Mark. I'm not sure. Is that we're gonna have? Come on, here, do it there.
Oh,
Sabak with Sully.
shut up! This is news
Yeah,
to me. I don't.
yeah.
I see. I don't get told anything over here. Like I said, I'm going to California. I got nothing else. So,
So Sully is going to be. There's plenty of space at Biggs here, and he's going to be educating people on how to play Sabak, and he's going to be, playing for games. I don't know that we're playing for money, or I don't know that I'm playing for money, because I don't know that I'm that good. I'm going to lose the Millennium Falcon in this deal. But Sully's going to be educating people from 9 to midnight. So the karaoke's going to be going, and Sully's going to have his own kind of space and room and stuff. And one of the amazing things that one of our title sponsors does, Hyperspace Props, is they make Sabak supplies, right? That's one of the kind of things that they make and they create. So they are going to be sponsoring us even more by donating the Sabak supplies and the prizes for that event.
that's fantastic. Thank
Yeah.
you, guys. Meanwhile, if you see me leaning off or from, I'm not working out over here. The cat Hicks is
No,
he needs way more love and
no, Keith.
attention than usual,
No,
and I don't
Keith.
know why that
No,
is, but
Keith.
he is
No,
just on
Keith.
me. Yeah, and I was grabbing him earlier because so I want to show something real quick to everyone.
Oh, yes.
This is in process. You teased something earlier. I'm going to tease something now. I have a friend who's a cosplayer. His name is Colin, and he sent me this orange shirt that maybe makes sense for someone who loves Rebels. I can't show more than this quite yet, but it is in process, in
Very
progress,
nice.
etc., etc. So a certain cosplay may be making a debut on a Rebels Revisited episode sometime soon once we're back.
That will be amazing.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So, but Hicks is on the box. Get off the box. At some point,
you
it's
gotta
like,
get on the boxes. Cats in boxes. That's the way they go.
yeah, yes. Sherry, it's going to be very cool. And definitely something I can wear to a show, although it's heavy, which makes sense because it's like a long sleeve and it's got color to it. So, yeah. And as a costume company person, I feel like it's weird that I'm going to people for costumes, but it's like we don't do this, we don't make this guy. So, and Colin's a very good cosplayer and maker. Hey, ow, Hicks, stop. Yeah, he's all riled up.
So yeah, that's what we got for this. I think that's a lot, and
yeah. It ended up being as long an episode as last week. We spent more time talking about each person, but also there's a lot of new announcements, and we wanted to recap what we were doing from last week for you guys. Plus, tell you a little bit about what's coming up next week. I mean, next week with Creators of the Universe, there aren't a lot of people to talk about, but we are going to do, like Dave said, other preparation things. So Sharpies that you need, other type of gear and accessories and things like that. Just getting ready for any type of convention.
Sharpies.
Yep.
They're better pens than Sharpies.
Yes. Whatever type of marker that you need.
That's
better. Let's say it that way.
Don't call it Sharpies, call it mark. Yes. Whatever type of marker and things that you need to get signed, how to protect them, how to properly transport all of these valuable autographs and things that you've got. And what other things that you can get them signed on? Because I am not an 8x10s guy. I'm a stuff guy. So
Hasbro Black Series, Funko Pops, posters, other figures. We're gonna put together a little listicle. My understanding is that Bryce has a list of all the Black Series, and then there's a comprehensive Funko list that someone was working on, not me, but I may help. I think next Sunday I'm gonna have the same panic attack I had last night, where I was like, the slides aren't done. I need to get this done. I was coming back from Father's Day with my family, which is wonderful. And then I was like, I have homework. I need things to do. Yeah. And I think next week it's going to be the same thing where I'm like, oh my God, the Black Series list. Do we have it somewhere?
and then I'll interject things or put in there, like, when we're looking at like vintage things or things that you could do. Because that's my bag. I really enjoy that. That sort of thing.
I want to put together all the cast pieces too. So, who's all from A New Hope, and then do a rack up of the money. So that Ahsoka cast piece could run you $600 or something like that. So in that case, how to plan your budget. We want you to be smart about what you're spending. Also, bring cash. So for these events, I can't guarantee that the actors are going to take credit cards or that they'll have Square or anything like that. So while the rest of your trip is largely paid for, for what we're doing, this probably needs to be cash. So if you have, say, limits on how much cash you can take out in a single day, you might want to start taking out cash earlier in the week or the month, so you have ready like an envelope of like, here's the $3,000 that I'm bringing with me. And also keep in mind of travel requirements. You actually can't travel with like more than $10,000 in cash on you without being like literally stopped by the authorities being like, why do you have so much cash on you, or you're a drug dealer? Like, so keep in mind that those types of things, those laws exist, and you would never really run up on them except when you're doing things like this. I know, because I had to go to the bank and make like a $20,000 deposit for work like several years ago, and it was a thing. So certainly couldn't get on a plane with that amount of cash.
Well, a level of preparation, which is, I think Biggs, pretty sure Biggs has an ATM, but if all of us are pulling money out of the ATM, the ATM's running out.
Exactly. And you want to also set your budget. So we'll be working on that for next episode. Cool. All right. I think that takes us through everything from this week. Anything else we need to cover? I think we got it all.
I think that's all the things. I'm waiting to see if my text messages blow up or the chats.
Oh, I blocked Spencer ages ago. Okay. So yeah, no, we're good. So this week on the network, though, make sure you tune into the Nerf Herders on Wednesday, where they're going to do their mid-season recap on the Acolyte. They are loving the show, and they have some things to say to the bad fans out there. So,
Yes.
not in this chat, but if you guys want to clap, cheer for them as they take down other people, that should be fun. Also, it is basically all Acolyte programming.
It's gonna be language.
Yeah, I'm in for it. I'm ready.
It's gonna be language, and the people that they're talking to deserve it.
Yeah, that's what's great about it. I'm excited about that. So they're gonna have it's mid-season Acolyte that they'll be talking about the first 4 episodes. So there will be spoilers as well on Wednesday, and then the rest of the week are the rest of our standard Acolyte programming. So Thursday night we've got the watch along for episode 4. Friday we've got
join us for the support group.
Oh, right, of course, Tuesday. Yeah.
We'll be in and we'll have the usual cantina, like virtual cantina shenanigans beforehand, but we're all going to leave and we're all going to go watch the Acolyte, but come back after the episode and go like, what? And all of us are there going like, yeah.
I should have joined on Tuesday because I was actually home. And yeah, it was quite the episode. I just didn't watch it live. Like I watched it like an hour or two later. And I think by then I had missed the get together on Zoom. Yeah, the post happy hour.
It was super.
It was quite the episode. I don't know what's going to happen this week.
And then we'll have the support group. We'll have the watch along we'll have Nerf Herders on Tuesday, and there may be spoilers. They're going to kind of push the spoiler ban. We have a spoiler ban for so long, but we'll let the Nerf Herders do it because, again, the fandom deserves what they get. And then we'll have the watch along on Thursday. The Acolyte after show with Bryce, John, and Mike is going to drop as it always does at midnight Pacific there. 3 a.m. Eastern. And then hopefully, if that we get in the time that we'll have a new episode of the Unifying Force for Sunday. If we don't manage to pull our stuff together, what I've been doing is searching back through the archives and finding something appropriate and Sithy and something timely that relates to what's going on in Star Wars and the Acolyte and that sort of thing, and doing a timely re-air.
Okay, so new episode or a timely re-air.
That is correct.
Okay, all right. Look, it is Acolyte all week basically on the channel, and then of course next Monday the final installment of this sort of mini run of celebrating autographs with me, possibly Frank, possibly Dave. We'll find out. And we'll have a lot to cover on that episode beyond the Northern California event. As we mentioned, the comprehensive list of all signers across the various streams of content and other things to get ready for the show and everything. So it'll be a lot of fun. Cool. All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a fantastic week ahead, and we'll see you across the network all week. May the Force be with you.